Graduates of the University of New England and your guests, may I please invite Miss Yves Byers to offer today's occasional address. She needs no further introduction.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the UNE Council, members of the Academic Board, proud family and friends, and of course all of the graduands here today, and those of us joining virtually. When I was invited to give this occasional address, I was a little surprised, very honoured, and I realised I didn't actually know what an occasional address was. So I did what all good university students do when researching an assignment. I went online and Googled it. I discovered that the World Wide Web is full of occasional addresses, given by a wide range of luminaries, who have inspiring things to say about achieving a university education. Many of these addresses are delivered by celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and other influential thinkers. I have very little in common with any of these high-achieving VIPs. Unlike most of these people, I was a terrible student at school. I never completed the HSC, and I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. It wasn't until my mid-20s that I felt emotionally and intellectually mature enough to undertake tertiary study. As a mature-age student, I embarked on a Bachelor of Business with an ambitious double major in marketing and management, mostly because I thought it would look good on my resume. While I liked the course and it helped me get a great job in publishing, I learned some useful things, I wasn't convinced that corporate marketing was my passion or my purpose. I moved from Sydney to the mid-coast area of New South Wales and joined UNE in 2001 to establish the UNE Regional Studies Centre in Taree. The Taree Centre started out as a single room with just a couple of computers. It soon became clear that this small space was not meeting the needs of the students, many of whom were still without reliable internet at home. In 2006, we expanded the centre with more computers, quiet study spaces, breakout rooms, and a high-speed ARNet network connection. The centre is now a vibrant, busy place that students can access 7 days a week. Students come to the centre for advice, support, and encouragement. They use the space for quiet study, to meet fellow students, to collaborate on group assignments, or just catch up and chat. Over the past few years, regional New South Wales has led the nation in a population migration that has seen almost 30,000 people move away from the larger metropolitan areas and into regional areas. Much of this growth is occurring within the mid-north coast region of New South Wales. It seems the secret is out. The mid-coast region of New South Wales is a highly desirable and affordable place to live, work and raise a family. This is reflected in a consistent increase in the number of students from the mid-coast region who have chosen UNE to reskill, upskill, reinvent their careers and take advantage of the emerging growth opportunities in the area. Like many other regions across Australia, the mid-coast region of New South Wales has endured significant challenges during the past few years, including drought, bushfires, floods, more floods, and the pandemic. Despite all this, thousands of UNE students have managed to complete their studies and to graduate. My second shot at tertiary study was a degree in applied science. It took me 7 years to complete. I studied part-time while working full-time and managing the accounting side of my husband's business at night and on weekends. I would squeeze reading and writing in between loads of washing or cooking dinner, often studying well into the wee small hours. Almost all of the students I supported in my 20-something years at UNE had similar work-life study challenges. My next venture into tertiary study was a Bachelor of Criminology. Studying about bad people led me to believe that I may have missed my calling, but by then I was perfectly happy in my job. So I added a bunch of creative writing units for interest. Now that I am retired, I plan to use my criminology and writing studies to write a crime fiction bestseller. Many students faced more challenges than seemed fair or reasonable, or indeed compatible with an academic pursuit. Over the years, I supported students who had lost everything in bushfires and floods, had experienced the loss of loved ones, married, divorced, changed jobs, started families, moved house. It never ceased to amaze me that despite these challenges, these students kept plugging away at their studies. The work-life-study struggle was never more obvious than when students would come to the UNE Taree Centre for some quiet study time, or to complete an already overdue assignment. They would arrive with a worn-out weariness and a backpack full of textbooks and study notes. Some came in nursing tiny babies or with toddlers in tow because the babysitter had cancelled or their partner had to take an extra shift at work. By far the most rewarding part of my job was to see these babies and toddlers grow up, finish school and return to the UNE Centre in Taree, ready to start on their own university voyages. It was gratifying to know that these future students had chosen to study at UNE in part because they were looking for the same personalised support and encouragement provided to their parents. It was a pleasure to be part of these intergenerational academic journeys. I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank all of my colleagues at UNE who helped me help students choose the right course, lodge applications, select units, complete enrolments. With the support of my colleagues, I provided encouragement when things went wobbly and advice for those who had bitten off more than they could chew. For some first-time students, the application process could be daunting, confusing and complicated, and just receiving an offer was cause for celebration. Some would come bouncing into the Taree Centre proudly waving their letters of offer. I was never sure if these brand new, super excited students were aware that they were about to embark on a journey that could, quite possibly, change their lives. The next time I saw these students was usually just before the beginning of their first trimester. By then, the initial elation at being made an offer and successfully completing the online enrolment had transformed into complete panic. One of the most important parts of my job was to encourage these students to take a deep breath and to help them get started. Watching them develop the confidence to realise that they can actually do this was always extremely rewarding. Just after I announced my retirement, a student came to say goodbye. He had started his academic journey at UNE with the Pathways Enabling course. He progressed to a Bachelor of Environmental Science and is now completing postgraduate studies with his eyes on a PhD. He said that the advice and support he received at UNE in Taree led him on an academic journey that has profoundly changed his life. It has been an honour to be a part of his journey and many more just like this. A graduation occasional address wouldn't be complete without some sage advice for the graduands, so I've made my own shortlist for all of you who are graduating today. Be receptive to opportunity. Keep an open mind and a positive approach to change. Use your education wisely. You could end up working in places and doing things that are beyond your wildest imagination. Critically evaluate everything you see, hear, read and write. Being intellectually rigorous will help you make informed choices and logical decisions about everything. Be a lifelong learner. Try to learn as much as you can about as many things as you can. Nurture your curiosity, read a lot and keep educating yourself. Finally, congratulations. Be proud of your achievements and enjoy your graduation day. Thank you very much.